Hi, friends. Now we're going to move on to part two of Mozart's The Magic Flute.
Next, a table of delicious food was set before them. "Oh, good!" Papageno exclaimed. "Something to eat while we wait for the next test." He had barely finished speaking before he started eating, smacking his lips and guzzling his drink greedily. Tamino was hungry too. The food looked delicious. But, he thought, this must be the test of patience. So again, he played the flute and soon forgot his hunger. Tamino passed the second test, but Papageno failed again. There was one more test to pass, the test of courage, a trial by fire and water. Suddenly, a huge wall of flames roared up before Tamino. "I must be brave," Tamino trembled.
"Tamino, wait!"
Pamina called and came to his side.
"I will endure this test with you. Play your flute, and the sweet music will protect us."
Tamino felt his courage return. He held Pamina's hand and lifted the flute to his lips. He played a song, and together they stepped through the flames unharmed. They found themselves standing before an enormous waterfall. Tamino was not afraid. He began to play his flute. The water slowed, then stopped. Tamino and Pamina walked through, hand in hand. The tests were over. Tamino had passed all three. Sarastro came forward and put his arms around their shoulders. "Tamino and Pamina, I give you my blessing to marry. Together you will inherit my throne of light and bring much wisdom and happiness to the world. The evil queen of the night will have no power in this joyful land."
"Hi!"
wailed the queen, who had been secretly watching. Her cry echoed throughout the land as she fled with her ladies into eternal darkness. But what about Papageno? "Congratulations, Tamino," he sighed sadly. "You and Pamina will be very happy together. As for me, I'd pluck my plumage for a sweetheart of my own." But Sarastro, with mischief in his eyes, patted the bird-catcher's back. "There now, Papageno," he said. "You failed the tests, it is true, but I think the world is better off with a cheerful bird-catcher than with a sad one. So I have one more test for you." An old woman hobbled over. Her face was lined with wrinkles, and her hair was gray and stringy. Her rags were as old and tattered as cobwebs.
"Will you marry me, Papageno?"
she croaked. She smiled at him, showing her missing teeth. Oh dear, she is hardly the kind of wife I imagined," Papageno muttered to himself. "But maybe she's not so bad. Maybe she can catch birds. Maybe she can cook. And she's surely better than no wife at all." Papageno made up his mind. "Yes," he said, "I will marry you." Poof! With a flash of light and a fluttering of feathers, the old woman disappeared. In her place, there stood a lovely young maiden dressed all in feathers. "This is Papagena," Sarastro announced with a smile, "the bird-catcher's bride." Papageno's eyes were as round as coins. Papagena, he stuttered. "Oh, I am am the luckiest bird catcher in the world. And so, not one, but two couples received Sarastro's blessing that morning. As the sun rose over the hills, the four friends walked off to a new life of peace and happiness, with the music of the magic flute to lead their way.